Hello, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Ongaku to You, the podcast where three friends come together and break down what's new in the Japanese music industry. This is the podcast for the week of January 25th. I'm your host, Ken, and with me we have Gray.
What's happening, dudes?
And that's it. Luna is having computer trouble, which explains why we didn't have an episode last week, and I spent as much time as I could with the Kohaku episode to get that out.
I guess all things worked out then.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be 2 episodes behind at that point.
Well, I would have just taken over editing duties at that point. Which I'm capable of doing now. Hooray!
Hooray. But yeah. How have you been? It's, we don't usually get to talk all too much like this because the Kohaku episode kind of rolled over.
Yeah, no, it's been crazy. I've been great, honestly. I had a lot of fun last weekend because I got to do something I don't normally get to do. And this week I started working during the days again, so I can be back on the show full time. And I only worked 3 days this week. Thank you, MLK. Sorry you died the way that you did, but I appreciate your holiday nonetheless. And sorry, I just did not know how to not make that awkward, so I just went with it. So I only had like a 3-day work week because tomorrow's my birthday and I do not work around my birthday. I like having a 3-day weekend, so took today off, and I had a photo shoot earlier today. I think I turned out really sexy, but that's just an opinion. And no, I'm having a good day. How have you been, bud?
Wait, what? You had a photo shoot for what?
For real estate, for business cards and promotional stuff for our site and all that fun stuff.
Did you dress up in the dinosaur suit like I asked?
No, I did not.
I'm telling you, that's how you're gonna get clicks for your real estate if you just dress up like a dinosaur.
I need to seem like a competent realtor, not someone who's just trying to get attention.
But that brings attention.
Trust me, the sexiness was on today. I'll get all the attention.
I've been okay, just struggling with the time sink that I've been having, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, hopefully that'll get better. Things should balance out now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's continue on to what we've been listening to. Let me start first this time, I guess.
No, let's mix it up. I'm always eager to hear what you've been listening to, bud. Also, give me a moment to collect my thoughts.
Well, I've been listening to, of course, my Juicy playlist, so not much new there.
Juicy.
But I did pick up Syrup's Syrup 2 EP. He's kind of a R&B rapper. He's really good, honestly. It's on Apple Music if you get a chance to look that up, by the way. And Mole 74, which is also a good alternative band, which I just love. April is probably my favorite song by them, and it's always in my mind no matter what. And finally, Kurinji. Kurinji's album, the Supete no Owl, is really good. I honestly really, really like this album, and it's a really good return to form for Kurinji, who's been kind of in the slump. If you guys don't know, Kurinji is like an 80s infused rock band that kind of keeps continuing on with the nostalgic of the 80s with just like keyboardists and stuff like that, which is really good. I really love that. The mixing in sounds that they have for the keyboardists with a lot of these songs, like their song Jikan Ganai is probably one of my favorite songs by them. There's a handful of songs that I actually really do like them, but the resurgence of Kurinji is very strong this past year, so I'm looking forward to whatever new releases they have.
That's exciting.
Yeah, there are also our other writer, Renford. He did a very good dissertation about them on our site. It peels apart their entire history, so go check that out on the site. I don't think it's on the front page, but I think it's still there. I think within the last 2 or 3 pages, so just take a look if you guys have the chance. But yeah, what have you been listening to, Gray?
So it's been a month, and so like the previous week I had listened to a crap load. This week I have been like super busy and trying to focus on my day job, so I have not listened to as much. But because it's been a while, I'm going to try to cover everything I've been listening to over the month, but I promise I will make it quick and short. First, Misako Uno. I've been checking out some of her work, and I will say hashtag One Love Pop is amazing. I love that song. I do listen to it about 5 times a day. I need it in my life. Last week, AAA dropped a new single, and I was hoping we would talk about it, but unfortunately things fell through. And I was really wanting to get your opinion on this, Ken. Egauno Loop. How did you like that song? Because I loved it. Actually, so far, like, it's my favorite song they do. Now, I know you have a different opinion. You've heard more of their music than me, but I was really curious how you felt about the song.
It was all right, give or take. I mean, I've been a okay fan by them. I don't really follow all their stuff, but it's just a lot of things that I did like about the song were things that I was like, oh, this is very AAA-ish, which apparently just moves on to LOL now because they're just the second coming now.
I I don't know. I see why you say that, but I feel like I disagree because AAA has way more of a rock sound, while LOL has way more of a pop sound. Now, maybe their style progresses to be way more pop. I've only heard their first 2 albums, so I just could be where I'm at in their career. But I haven't had an opportunity to listen to much more than their first 2 albums. But I did enjoy their first 2 albums. And Cool dropped their new album, which is really, really good. The last week I had only heard it once and said I enjoyed it, but I didn't like it as much as their third album. I have listened to it 2 more times since then, and I still like the third album more. But I really, really enjoy this album. They do something quite different with it, and I do recommend checking it out. I don't know. It's its own thing. It's hard to describe. Also, I went back and checked out "Life Is Beautiful" by Bish. That song's amazing. And I've been listening to the Sheena Ringo album that came out in December of 2017. So right as we started the show, she released an amazing album. It's now on Apple Music. You can check it out. I do recommend it. It's super good. Especially like the Creamy Season, I think, is my favorite song on that album. But the Adult Code's really good. A Double Suicide's really good. And Mavi Mes Revs is also really good. Oh yeah, that's a good album. But that's it. That's mostly that's the most notable stuff I've been listening to. Besides LOL, I think it goes without saying I listen to them on repeat.
I'm surprised you didn't get Little Glee Monster's new album.
They had a new album?
Yes, it's called Flavor.
Well, the reason I didn't get it is because I didn't know about it. Excellent promotion there, Sony.
Well, that was my fault too, because I wasn't able to do it.
Well, it also explains why they had 5 music videos post this morning, and I have not had the opportunity to watch them or listen to them. But I was like, Little Glee Monster has 5 music videos. It's really weird, and because I subscribed to their channel, so it just popped up in my feed, and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, no, I had no idea. I'll check it out, I guess, at some point. If it's not on Apple Music, though, I don't have the money to go out and buy it, so it'll be a while.
I bought it a couple of days ago, so I can give it to you later.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so just remind me. But yeah, with that, let's move on to some news. And first is coming right off the presses of last night is that Scandal releases new information of their upcoming single from their brand new private label. So if you guys didn't know, and this was a really big shocker for me a couple weeks back, but Scandal left Sony really abruptly.
Yes, they did. No one talked about it either. Like it really flew under the radar.
And that explains a whole lot of what Sony was doing now.
Yeah, it really does explain retrospectively like what was going on.
So they have a new private label called Her, and it's kind of a artsy label. I really don't know what to call it, because not only is it just music, it's actual artists, like actual art. So
interesting.
Yeah, this is to talk about for their upcoming single. It's called Masterpiece and Mabataki, and it's a double A side. It'll release on March 27th, by the way. And they will be having 2 limited editions for the single, one being a 37-page magazine called Her Magazine, which includes an exclusive interview for its Scandal and stuff like that. And one will have a t-shirt by Utada, who's a really famous like pop culture artist in Japan right now.
Yeah.
And he's the one that actually did the cover for the new single. So you'll get a t-shirt of that.
Oh, that's actually cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool nonetheless. I am very excited to see what is gonna go on with their label, so to speak, because I don't know what they're trying to go here. If they're gonna be all artsy fartsy, I mean, they have enough money and enough sway in the music industry now because there are 10 years that they can do this.
Yeah, and they have the fans too.
Yeah, so
it'll be interesting to see because I was really surprised to hear that they had left Sony, and I imagine at the end of the day it was to get more freedom, more creative freedom over their own stuff. And I mean, if your own record label, it'll be super interesting to see. Would you technically consider them indie artists now?
I don't know. It depends if that label picks up steam or not. Technically they are, but I wouldn't know how I would define it. Like if Ajicon left and made their own label, which I'm pretty sure they could.
Well, I mean,
then I wouldn't even call them indie at that point.
But I mean, Ajicon does kind of have a pseudo sub label that they control under Sony, anyways, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's pretty much what it is. But they kind of do whatever they want. Also, it's not like
they got the power.
They have enough money that they can kind of just do whatever they want, to the point that they don't need to release albums for 2 to 3 years at a time.
Yeah, I still need to listen to their latest album. I feel like I'm missing out on something. I just have not had the chance.
It's really good. I have it, by the way, so I'll give you the files later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said, I keep up with this, so I have pretty much everything. But yeah, I mean, it's really good. I'm really excited to watch the music video finally because it isn't under Sony, so we can have a good, clear shot of what the music video looks like.
Yes.
Yep. But yeah. With that, let's continue on to another piece of news. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room, which is, his name is George.
He is afraid of peanuts. Surprise, I know, right?
Yeah, I know. But yeah, all kidding aside, it's this NGT thing.
My lord. Talk about a basket of worms that this thing has let loose.
Oh, boy. I don't even know where to start.
Well, it starts with an assault. And that's the best place to start. So for anyone who's not been following this thing has exploded. It's been picked up. Kotaku's talked about it. CNN's talked about it. I mean, it's getting big here in the States. In Japan, it's probably the O.J. Simpson trial. I guess I know it's a dated reference, but it's the only thing I can think of. I guess Me Too movement to some degree. But
well, it's to some degree anyway because of what's the result of this.
Yeah. So
let's talk about the assault. So first and foremost, the assault came from Maho Yamaguchi, who's a member of NGT48. And she came out the first week of January saying, in front of all of her fans, saying, hey, I went through this difficult time back in December, saying that she had been assaulted by 2 of her male fans in their, I guess, dormitory or apartment complex. It's a complex, but it's only owned by all the tenants are other members of NGT. So
Yeah.
no one is supposed to have access to this area. And you know, she was scared. That kind of thing where you don't know if you're gonna get assaulted or
Yeah.
raped even.
Well,
She,
and she did manage to flee her attackers before anything too severe happened, but just the fear, just the sheer, because they met her at the door, like, because she was coming home. It was about like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And the way that I understand the events, and I could be wrong about this, is basically it's kind of like she goes through the door of her place, and they, before she can turn around and lock the door behind her, these two dudes just come in and assault her. They tried to touch her face and tried to pin her, but she was able to break free, and she fled and notified the authorities. And anything like that would be super traumatizing, because there's no telling what those guys were planning on doing. I mean, the fact that they were going to pin her would suggest that their intentions were very nefarious. And it just, it's horrifying that this has happened. And we're super thankful that Maho Yamaguchi is okay, and she's dealing with this, and I think she's been super brave about this whole situation, because she hasn't had the best support from management, which we'll get to, but she does have a good community that has surrounded her and has really lifted her up in a very special way, and that's exciting to see. Like her fellow idols just pick her up and support her in the way that they have. And if there's any good news that to come out of this horrible thing, is that the idol community is a real community, and these girls support each other and stand up for each other, minus the rumor, which the rumor is, and it's unsubstantiated, but it's been reported on, so we'll just go ahead and talk about it here too. It is believed that one of the members of NGT48 gave those dudes the information that they needed to basically storm her room, and that's as unsubstantiated. Like no one knows, but like I said, it's been reported on by some fairly reputable sites, so I figured we address that, but that's just a rumor. And if I remember correctly, management has come out and said that's not true at all. So,
oh boy. So this whole thing is bad. It's NGT's done. Honestly,
I,
I,
I mean, they've canceled all their January appearances and stuff like that. And to be fair, you would think like Maho would take a break.
yeah,
After,
and she did.
Yeah.
She did. She did.
No, she has no business being on stage or performing. Like she needs to sort out her feelings and stuff like that. And I'm glad she's getting the help she needs. But one of the other things is management's caught a lot of flack because they made her apologize because she made her fans worry. And that has upset a lot of people. And that's really where, CNN and Kotaku and all that stuff, that's where this whole thing exploded. And I get like that's part of like the culture, and we as a Western culture just find it appalling that they're like, why would you apologize? But in their defense, and I'm not saying that they did the right thing or anything like that, but I've made my mom worry, I've made you guys worry on the show when I got hit by the car, and it's very natural, when you're fine and everything's sorted out, it's like, hey, I'm sorry to make you guys worry about this kind of thing. So I kind of get to some degree why they wanted her to apologize for making her fans worry, but I don't know. I don't think they should have forced that upon her. I think if she wanted to do that of her own volition, that'd be one thing. But because they made her do it, I think that's really where the fire is coming from. They're like, how dare you? And again, like I said, I can understand why they felt like that was needed and stuff. But yeah, that was really the big thing. And yeah, they've canceled everything for the month of January. We don't know anything about February yet, but this is still a hot button issue, and I wouldn't be too shocked if everything scheduled for February gets canned too. So
Yeah. Well, all their management that was in January, they're all gone.
yeah,
They're all gone. They all got canned because of how they handled the situation. One of the major executives from AKS is now in charge of NGT, and she's been with the company for several years, so it'd be good for them to have someone who's a senior, so to speak, to handle this sort of situation.
yeah.
But at the end of the day,
It's not good, and it does not make them
it's
look
it's
good.
it's not good. It doesn't make them look good, and if they don't sell, honestly, if they don't sell number one on the charts, I think NGT's done. Honestly, this is what it goes back to what the 48 system is again. I really do think this year is going to be a very trying year because it points all these eyes down at the idol community, just the idol community, specifically AKS and all their doings. So who knows? They could be gone for a year. They still could be trucking, and this could just be a little slip up in just what could be a little bump in the road. But
Yeah.
this is bad press, and I think it's gonna haunt them for the next couple months.
I would say it's going to haunt them for a year or two minimum. Hopefully, they'll be past this bad press when the global eye is on them come next year, because that's also around the corner and something that they have to keep in the forefront. Because
Well, let's just say this much: this dashed any chance of Akimoto's groups being on the Olympics opening ceremony.
I'm not surprised.
So this just probably dashed any hopes for that. Anything with 48, probably Nogizaka might be able to now, but anything with 48 or a very small number, kind of like how they did with the Kohaku this past year, where they only bring in 8 of them, 8 or 10 of them, if that.
Yeah.
And those girls be just a specific representation of the groups, then I think that'd be fine. But to bring all of them on, I think no. That this huge insight of what the idol community is so bad for them. It's so bad.
We're not on the planning committee. We don't know anything. But I was always under the suspicion that I wasn't expecting any of the 48 groups to be there at the opening ceremony anyways, because you have to think about like the image that Japan wants to project to the world and stuff like that. And I'm not 100% certain, especially now with all this stuff going on. But even before then, I was like, I don't know if that's the image that they want the rest of the world to be like, oh, hey, look at our 48 girls and stuff like that. Like, that may or may not go over well. I don't know.
That may or may not go over well, but that's the biggest money making that they have.
Oh, no, that's very true, too.
So, and it wasn't in stone, but there was news articles just saying that Akimoto wanted them to be on the committee, or at least the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Because at this point, besides Deitch, we don't know who's going to be on. Deitch and Exile and whatever, Yuna, Zukenshi's, and the kids groups. That's probably like a handful of acts right there, and probably a lot of traditional stuff. But besides that, there's not much what is a so-called modern Japan. But it would be a good idea to have the idol community on there somehow. Even if it's not AKB, I wouldn't mind Nogizaka or even Momohiro Clovers.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Being about that. It doesn't have to be AKB. I think Akimoto wanted it to be AKB, but because of all this stuff that went down, I honestly don't think that the 48 family should go on. I think that dashed any dreams that they had with them.
Now, is Nogizaka and Keyakizaka 46, are they under different management technically? Or are they still
technically under Sony.
Yeah.
They're not under AKS, so they have a totally different managing system. So, but they're under the same strict rules, so to speak. But for the most part, their managing system is under Sony.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's continue on from that depressing news.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, yeah, but let's talk about the Pump's new upcoming single called Sakura, which will be released in March 6th. This is going to be a follow up of the Pump's major hit song USA,
Yes, love that song.
and will be the group's first single of 2019. And Sakura will have a bunch of limited edition stuff, with like one with a documentary movie that they filmed in Vietnam, another with a dance heavy version of Sakura, but they're gonna be riding the high wave, so to speak, and I look forward to it.
I am excited. I loved USA. I only song I really know about Pump, but Issa, I've discovered a little bit more of his music. I did not realize that he helped with Overkortzer. I learned that this week.
Yeah.
So
the
that
single came out this past week, so I think
Yeah.
it's gonna rank. So
hopefully, although I've never been the biggest Overkortzer fan, it's okay. I'm not in love with it, but also he did the Fies opening, which I did like a lot. So justifies.
well, yeah, I know them and their puns back then.
Yeah. Well, there's Brave Blade for Blade.
Well, by the way, how are you liking Blade? I just want to talk just a little bit on that because they did release the complete selection modification for Blade's belt, and
I
I'm
saw
like,
that.
that looks beautiful. I want that.
That does
It
look
even
sexy.
comes with the projection where he just runs through. Little projection and the light that you put in, and it has the little image of the card. I want that so much. It's gonna be like $200, but I'll get it.
So I'll tell you where I'm at in the story. The primary writer just got abducted.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still in the very early stages of the show. And I was telling a friend of mine, it looks like the production level for Blade is like cheaper. Just as far as, because like they're out in the boonies a lot more. The photos, the stock quality of the video just seems a little cheaper is all. And the opening is not as fancy as previous years. So but the mystery that they're pushing is very interesting. I'm interested to see where they're going to take the story. And I do like the idea set up in premise that like all the monsters that they're fighting are tied to like a deck of cards, and they're correlated to it. So every time you beat them, you have to seal them in the card. I do find that very fascinating and interesting, and I'm interested to see what Kamen Rider Chalice, what's going on with him.
What his deal is?
Yeah, he's not human. His dialogue makes that very apparent. He bleeds green. That's very apparent. But at the same time, it's like, he'll bend over backward. Like he'll complain about humans and humanity, and then he'll bend over backwards to save the little girl. So he's got that dual nature that he's trying to fight within himself. So it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I've not had time to dive into it like I would have liked. So.
What was really interesting during that time is they sold limited edition trading cards or playing cards of Blade.
I would play with those
because of that. Yeah,
because it's just a deck of regular playing cards, right?
It's a deck of regular playing cards, but it has all the monsters on each card instead. So.
Yeah, I'd play with those. I love poker.
I would put it in like sleeves just to protect it, just in case. But yeah,
you're not wrong. Yeah.
Let's continue on with this week's Indie Corner. It is finally back because I finally had time to do it.
Hooray!
Yeah, we're at week 28. Jesus Christ.
Where's the time go?
Yeah, Nakigoto, and they are technically a 2-member pop rock band that formed last year, honestly. So it's a very surprising thing there. They have a vocalist and a rhythm guitarist with a lead guitarist who also does the chorus. And what's pretty cool about them is the lead singer has a very, very melodic voice.
She does.
And
she does.
And a very amazing compositions with the guitars and stuff like that bring back a very fresh yet a nostalgic taste of what like the mid aughts.
Yeah,
Kind of like if
mid
you
aughts.
were,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah, like time where you're just kicking back with friends and just chilling to music, that kind of thing. It kind of harkens back to that nostalgic feeling, yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta say I checked out their the music video we had. I'd like to look at more of what they have to offer. I loved so on our website we have their Metropolitan music video, and it's really good. It's a really good song, and this might sound like criticism, but it's actually praise. The guitar setup that they have in that song is very simple but catchy, and personally I tend to like that. I think sometimes people overcomplicate music when it doesn't need to be. So the guitar, it serves the music great, and the lyrics of the song flow really well, and I love her voice. She has a very nice voice. Emily,
Yeah.
Emily has a very nice voice, and it's really cool that they formed last year. This song came out in October, so it'll be interesting to see where they go, and I do think they got a bright future ahead of them. It'll be interesting to see how they shape up.
Yeah, I would look forward to the next year, or when we do our next Indie Corner Roundup, which I know will be pretty soon. I want to say 2.5 months from now.
10 weeks.
If, yeah,
12
when
weeks.
I finally, about 12 weeks, so about 3 months,
Yeah.
give or take. So probably right after our Nishino Kana, so probably right around April. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing something fairly similar where we'll be ranking 21 to 40, and then we'll bring in our top 3 from our last list, and we'll compare the top 3 for the 21 to 40. It'd be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll have to do a little bit of homework because I'm trying to remember week 27. It's been a while.
It's Clacklax.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, nearly a month ago is right.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a long while. But yeah, let's continue on over to the Oricon. And just a handful of new things. Not really much here, but
it's not the most crazy week, but it's interesting. There's things we'll have to talk about.
Okay. But yeah, first and foremost, it is Stand By You by SKE48. And this song,
I like You Don't. I don't know if there's anything else more that needs to be said.
Ikinari Punchline was a better song, and I hated that song.
I loved Ikinari Punchline. Fun. I like Stand By You. It's simple. It's fun and poppy, and I don't know. I like it. What can I say? I have bad taste in music. I don't know. I'll dive on that grenade.
Idol groups, yes.
Huh?
When it comes to idol groups, yeah, you do.
That's mostly what I listen to. Yeah.
But yeah, this week it sold a wonderful 7,840 copies. And going on up to number 9, it is Defiance by Amamiya Sora. I believe that's how you say it. Amamiya Sora.
Yeah,
And
Amamiya Sora.
She's a seiyuu, so of course this song sounds super anime, which I don't mind.
I wondered why it sounded like super anime, but I don't know. This song didn't hit much on me, personally.
It's alright. I mean, like I said, this sounds like a very, very seiyuu heavy, like composition and singing style. I mean, I can't knock it because I personally like a lot of seiyuu artists, but it's alright. it's alright. I can't really say much.
I wound up listening to it twice, and I still can't remember what this song sounds like in my head now. So I guess that's my biggest complaint with the song is it's very forgettable.
But yeah, Defiance sold a lovely 7,981 copies. And going on up, it is Nogizaka 46 with Kairi Michiwa Taikiri Shitaku Naru.
I love you, Nanase.
And this is her graduation song, so you're gonna have to just bear with.
I fell in love with the wrong song, I know.
Maybe you should get her photo book.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Maybe I should.
But yeah, this is a much better song. Jiko Cho Deiko, and yeah.
I don't know, I like both of them about the same.
Synchronicity is a much better song than that song.
I liked Synchronicity.
But
I just didn't love it. That was the thing.
Jiko Cho Deiko just sounds like a very generic, just a very generic song in my mind.
It was fun and simple, and I liked it.
Well, this song, Kairi Michiwa, is a much better song in my opinion. It's probably like a really great song, honestly.
Also, it's another simple song.
If Glass Wade didn't come out, this probably would have been the best song that the 46 groups did this past year, in my mind.
That's tough.
Because I didn't think Ambivalence was all that great. Glass Wade took the cake, but this is a very, very close second.
Yeah, Ambivalence is okay. My favorite song on that single of Ambivalence was Student Dance. So if you listen to the second song, that was a stupid good song.
Kairi Michiwa sold a lovely 8,824 copies, and going on up is Yunezu Kenshi with Lemon.
It was on last week,
It's pretty funny
too.
that. Yeah, it was on last week too. So it's really funny that Lemon got on and not Flamingo or Riot Time or whatever.
It's that Kohaku bump, man. The Kohaku bump.
The Kohaku bump.
Yeah, it's real. We're witnessing it.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 last week. It's 7 this week. Like why else would it be on here? It was on the Kohaku. It was a very interesting performance with a crap ton of candles. Go watch it.
Fire hazard just waiting to happen.
There were sprinklers in that room. He was fine. Also, there was no carpets, so there's nothing to burn.
Just the burning loins, that's one.
Well, that dancer was attractive.
Yeah. But yeah, we said all our piece we could say for the last close to almost a year. This song's been released in March, so
yeah.
If it continues to be on the charts here, hot damn.
But the great thing about Lemon is it's a great illustration, especially of us, like how people's opinions can change over time, because when this song came out, none of us were high on it. And over time, we've all grown to really love and appreciate the song. So,
well, for me, it was because you had to freaking listen to it. Because it played wherever. It played everywhere in Japan because people love the hell out of this song.
It's got a good hook. It does. Like it has a really good hook. I still like Peace Sign more, though.
It's number 3, by the way, in his top-selling singles.
My Hero Forever, man. My Hero Forever.
Hey, man. I just love Ayane Sakura.
We all do.
But yeah, Lemon sold this week a lovely 11,674 copies. And going on up to another song that has a very interesting hook. Face My Fears by Utada Hikaru.
Ugh.
So, we had things to say about this song.
The song's bad. Okay, it's not bad, but it's
Okay.
not good either. It is not good.
It's run-of-the-mill.
I think it aspires to be run-of-the-mill.
Personally, I don't think the wah 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 isn't all too bad. It's not as high as it needs to be, but it's there enough to be there. But
well,
if you guys don't know, this is the opening theme to Kingdom Hearts 3, which just came out today. I don't know. I'll wait a couple months to pick it up. It don't matter. Everyone's playing Resident Evil and trying to finish that one off before, Kingdom Hearts takes over Twitch as of right now. Which you can hear on our upcoming episode of Potosaurus, which will be probably next week.
Well,
so, I don't know.
And when you guys do game collabs, you don't have to worry about this one making the list.
No. Well, maybe the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack, but not the openings.
No. I want to like this song. I've never been a huge Skrillex fan, and I don't know if it's because he's attached to this song or whatnot, but my biggest beef with this song is just how repetitive it is. Because I listened to the English version, not the Japanese version. But I would imagine she would say face her fears no matter what, an innumerable amount of times, in both languages, because it's like the only line of the song, it feels like. And I'm like, the music I do like behind it. And it's one of those times where it's like, I've always said, like, about like lyrics, like if you don't like a song, lyrics will not save it, right? That's been my mantra from the beginning. But if there are times where lyrics can tank a song, and I think this is one of those times where it's like, well, the music behind it is actually really good. I like the piano in it, and I like the melody to the song just fine, but the lyrics do nothing for me, and it is just run of the mill. I know I said it aspired to be, but I will admit it's pretty just run of the mill. And I just, Lord, the original song attached to this would have been a much better pick. And I'm not a huge fan of that song either. But that's an improvement. And that song's still in there. Like, there's an English version for that song too. Yeah, I'm not. I wish I liked it more than I do, because one of the highlights for me has always been like the opening themes to Kingdom Hearts. Like, you know, when I was in high school, everybody talked about Sanctuary, and everybody talked about Simple and Clean. Thank you. I was like, when you walk up. Okay, so like, but when I was in high school, like all of my friends talked about how great those songs were, because they're great. They're classics at this point, because they're over 10 years old. They're classics. I don't see people in high school, people playing this game going, you know what? That opening, man, was dope.
I don't know. I think we're just too old now.
Kids these days.
Maybe the kids do like it. I have no idea.
Well,
but
kids like generic music. To be fair, I'm guilty of the same thing. So it's everybody marches to the beat of their own drum, and I get that. But
and that beat of the drum is womp 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 womp.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, there's that. But yeah, Face My Fears sold a lovely 12,732 copies. And going on up, it is Yuda 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 Ring Koishin by Festival. And oh god, this song. I don't know.
It was okay. I kind of liked it. I don't get what the message behind the music video was supposed to be.
You would.
Yeah, well. I said I kind of liked it. I didn't love it.
It was so weird because it was trying to be like, oh, it's a mixture of generic idol stuff and Wagaki Band.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I do see that criticism, but I need to go back and re-listen to this, because I think I wanted to like it more than I did, but it didn't land on much. Honestly, the only new song on the list that I absolutely fell in love with was number 2. But
yeah.
Festive
sold a lovely 13,770 copies. I didn't like it. Just spoilers there.
Yeah. Check it out for yourself. And if you're into two girls kissing, that happens at the end of the music video. Although I think she's about to throw herself off the building, so I don't know if she's trying to commit suicide to get attention, or they just happen to be on a roof and she's standing by that. I mean, it looks like she's about to jump. And then they just kiss anyways. And you as you watch the music video, you see like several times where she tries to kiss her and bungles it in some manner or fashion. Check out the music video if that interests you.
But yeah, continuing on to number 4 is I Beg You, Hana Dira Tachi Machi and Sailing by Amir. I only liked the second and third song. I didn't like I Beg You.
Okay, see, and now I'm the exact same way. I hated I Beg You, but the second and third song are awesome. Especially the second song. Second song's really good.
Yeah. It's like what you were saying earlier. It was trying to be something, a lot of everything, when it just didn't need to be.
Yeah.
There was so much going on in I Beg You that if they just kept it super simple like they did with the other 2 songs, Sailing was amazing, and Hanabira Tachi no March was simply amazing because it was such a refreshing take after just what was going on in I Beg
Oh
You.
my! I beg you it's too much, and I don't like the song. I don't like the music video. I find that just disturbing and creepy. And I think I find it to be like the generic edgy music that you sometimes see with anime. This is associated with the second Heaven's Feel movie in the Fate Stay series. So
Maybe that's why.
I'm like,
Maybe that's why I was trying to be edgy. I don't know. I don't watch Fate, so I don't watch that kind of anime. So
well, Fate Zero is super dark. I will say that much. And Heaven's Feel is supposed to be the dark. Like, there's, without going too much into it, there's 3 iterations of the story of Fate Stay Night. There's the original, there's Unlimited Blade Works, and then there's Heaven's Feel, and they all basically tell the same story but alternate paths because it was a light novel game where you could choose one of 3 paths, basically a romance option. So like the original, he romances Saber, spoilers. In Unlimited Blade Works, he romances Ren, spoilers, and then in the last one, he will romance Sakura, spoiler.
damn it, that spoils it right there. Now I'm never gonna watch this.
You don't even know what it's about.
Yeah, I don't. All I know that is Urobuchi wrote it, and I know Urobuchi, and I don't want to touch on anything that Urobuchi ever makes ever again.
Urobuchi only wrote Fate Zero. He doesn't have
Fate
anything
Zero?
to do with the rest of them.
Ah, okay.
But Fate Zero is like super dark. It is super dark, which is
It
Urobuchi.
is really dark. It's Urobuchi.
Let me just say this much: it has insects taking a child's innocence, and we'll leave it at that.
Cool beans.
Yeah. Anyways, I beg you. I don't like it. I feel like it's over edgy and not. It's just not a good song. But yeah, the second song, I have March of Petals. I think that's basically what that says in Japanese. That was my favorite of the 3. It's also the shortest. It was like a minute, like 3 minutes and 10 seconds. It's like super short, and it's one of those songs where it has a really lovely melody. It does not overstay its welcome, and
It's very calming too, compared to the bum rush effect that I Beg You happened.
I think Sailing's fairly calming too because it's a slow song. But yeah, no, it's yeah. I did not like I Beg You.
But yeah, it sold a lovely 14,593 copies, and going on up to number 3, it is Bokutachi Nai Chao Yo by NMB48. This is Yamamoto Saika's graduation song, and probably their best song, honestly.
It's a good song. I like it. I didn't realize it was I didn't realize it was a graduation song. I didn't get the feels that the Nogizaka 46 song does. And by the way, now that I realize that's Nana Say's graduation. I know I'm still on the upswing on a lot of things. When I go back and watch that music video, I actually burst into tears every time I watch it.
But when Yamamoto Sayaka, they brought everyone in. They brought everyone in for this music video.
Yeah, I saw some big hitters in like AKB48 and stuff. Like it's a pretty huge song.
So yeah, I mean it's good. I like it. It's better than their stupid marching song that they had earlier in the year too. So
I don't remember it. Although I think is that the one where they were marching through the snow?
no, not it was in that building randomly, and they were just doing really diagonal.
Yeah,
like,
okay, yeah, I know.
Diagonal movements.
That the song was. I don't want to say bad, but it wasn't good.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was. it was very weird.
But yeah, it's Bokutachi Nai Chao Yo sold a lovely 16,210 copies, and going on up is Koibito Shumatsuchu by Tensuke Amatsuki. And
Best song of the week.
I don't know.
I liked it. I really like it compared to everything that's come before it. That's new. Okay, or I'm gonna preface that. That's new. I really like this song. I thought it was good. The two songs that we're gonna talk about next, I absolutely hated, and the other new songs.
You just don't like Johnny's. That's why.
That is
I
not true. I love King and Prince, And V6 is amazing.
That's the only thing.
V6 is amazing when they did Change the World back in the early aughts. So no, it's not that I don't like Johnny's. It's just like these two songs are boring. I don't like them, but we're not there yet. This song though was really good. I loved it. It had a lot of heart.
I don't like the train. I don't like trains. I don't like this anime that it's part of.
Then how do you like Den-O so much?
I don't like Den-O.
Oh.
Japan loves Den-O. I didn't like Den-O. There was only one reason I like Den-O, but we won't get upon that right now.
There's a bonus that's really lucky. Anyways, yeah, back to on point. I did like this song. I thought it was fun. I thought it was catchy, and I really liked the singer. I liked his personality. It really shines through in this song, and
it's really poppy. Yeah, I want to say
it's super poppy, which is probably why I liked it so much. You can always tell what I'll like. Is it the poppiest thing? Yes, it's pretty poppy. Okay, great, we'll like it. I like poppy music. I cannot help it. It's fun, it's uplifting, and that's typical. I mean, I listen to music to have fun. Like, that is the quintessential goal of why I listen to music. I like having fun. So, anytime that I perceive a song to be fun, which is why I like the Summer song from NGT48, it's a fun song. I have fun listening to it. So, this song, I have a blast listening to it. It's really fun. And like I said, I love the lead singer's energy and how he got in and it, like, I loved it. I watched the music. I watched it twice. I downloaded it off of Apple Music, and because I was like, I gotta see if it's on there. And yeah, no, I like. Was it the train like the only thing that you had an issue with, or did you think it was like kind of generic?
No, I just don't like the anime that it's part of.
I did not even realize it was part of an anime. It explains a few things.
That explains a lot of things.
Sometimes you can disassociate. So, like, there's anime that I love. I hate the openings too. It's how it is. Like,
yeah.
To me, they're.
We'll get to that pretty soon.
Hey, I love Inuyasha and Change the World is an amazing song.
What you're talking about? The next song was the opening for One Piece.
I know, and it's bad. Anyways,
you just hate Johnny's. You just hate Johnny.
I love One Piece though. It's one of my favorite anime of all time. I have not kept up with it in 3 years, but it's still one of my absolute favorite anime of all time. So,
but yeah,
I'm a bad fan.
Let me continue.
Yes.
The Amatsuki sold a lovely 25,665 copies, and going on up, it is number 1 on the charts because Johnny's rules all.
Yes, they do.
It is Superpowers, and Right Now by V6. Say your spiel. Just get it out.
I've already said my spiel. I didn't like these songs. They're bad. Superpowers was bland and boring. And honestly,
kind of like the anime that it's associated to. Oh!
Well, I mean, that's your opinion, but I can't say anything that would make you change your mind. I love it. I think it's very unique and interesting. But for me, like, Superpower, it doesn't even...
That doesn't know how to end.
It's 75% of the way done. Give Oda time.
You know what? You know what's an anime that is exactly One Piece, but they found the ending? Outlaw Star.
That's
how I explain to people what Outlaw Star is. It's One Piece, except they found the freaking treasure within 30 episodes.
26. Yeah.
30 episodes. Within 30 episodes.
Yeah, well... I don't know if I've ever told you this, but Outlaw Star is my favorite anime. Mostly just because it's the first anime I ever owned, so it's just like, yeah. But also, I will say, I don't think Superpowers fits One Piece. Because it's a series about adventures. It's not... They do have superpowers. I'm not going to sit here and try to say that they don't. But that's not what the show's about. And it just bothers me. Like, superpowers would make more sense in My Hero Academia than One Piece.
Superpowers? The person has an elastic arm. I don't know if that's a superpower or not. The only non-superpowered person is possibly Zoro and Sanji, if that.
The non-superpowered people is Zora's, Sanji, Nami, and Usopp. Everybody else is a fruit user.
There you go. Superpowers. Bam.
But the show is not about having superpowers. They just happen to have them. The show is about adventure and treasure and finding things, and they just happen to have super abilities.
Which they can never find.
No, they know where it's at. It's just they got to get there. It's a long journey. It's not about the destination. It's the journey to get there.
That took over 10 years to get there.
Yeah, but the great thing about the great thing about One Piece is the way that the story is told. Is each island that they go to acts as an arc in and of itself, and it's it's mostly standalone-ish. Like each island you go to has its own basically microcosm that they're dealing with, like set of characters that they deal with, and its own plot that has a beginning, middle, and end. So even though the series as a whole has been going on for 10 years, you can look at like the Skypiea arc that has a very distinct beginning, middle, and end, and you could read Skypiea completely divorced of the rest of the series and get a complete story. That's how One Piece has survived for as long as it has. And it has.
But do they have superpowers?
Oh yeah. I did not like.
The song's great, by the way. The songs were great, by the way. Besides Gray's complaining about it, the song's great. I personally liked it.
And everyone's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's fine.
It's just so funny that, particularly, you don't really like a lot of Johnny's songs.
I wish I did.
It's just so funny. That's why I'm ripping you one right now, because it's particularly a lot of the older Johnny songs you don't particularly like.
I don't know why. They just don't. They just don't hit me the right way, I guess, or something. I don't know. I wanted to like, especially once I found out it's the opening for One Piece. Man, I'd love to love this song.
What about Aini? Did you? No, you didn't like that song either.
No, I don't think I did like that song.
And it was composed by one of your new stand-up bands too.
No, wait a second. Was that the
That was Johnny 8's one that you were making a big fuss about.
Oh yeah.
They came back out in like November or December, I believe.
Yeah. So I thought
you made a big fuss about that.
I do what I can for the anime that I love. I do what I can.
No, but it was done by Wanima.
Oh yeah, that is right.
The composition. It didn't even do anything with anime.
I thought you were talking about the Kishidan opening that they did for One Piece. Now the Kishidan opening for One Piece is amazing.
No. I was strictly talking about the last couple. Last couple like Johnny groups that have been appeared on the Oricon. You haven't really liked them all too much.
I will say I've liked everything I've heard by Arashi so far. I do like them. I like their sound. I like their energy and stuff like that. I just like the last two, like the last couple of Kanjani 8 songs I've heard. I haven't cared much for, and the last two V6 songs I've heard, because they had another single that came out last year. I didn't care much for either.
Which is funny because honestly, I like this song much more than the last song. The other V6 song, I can understand your criticisms because it was fairly generic. But
maybe I need to hear it again. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes I hear a song, I don't like it. I get in a different mindset, different mood. Hear it again, and something clicks.
Because honestly, if this wasn't associated to One Piece, I mean, I didn't really care. Like, it was all right. I mean, the song's okay. I personally found it to be alright. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's better than a couple of their other anime songs that they done. So,
which one did you like more, Right Now or Superpowers?
Superpowers. Right Now was a little weird. Did like the upbeat nature for Superpowers a little bit more. That's why.
Yeah. Would you call that upbeat? Yeah, I guess it was upbeat.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. It struck this weird tone with me. I need to go back and re-listen to this because I don't know.
It's a more upbeat tone than Face My Fears.
Every song on this list was more upbeat than except for I Beg You.
I don't know what that was though. But yeah, anyway, Superpowers and Right Now sold a lovely 100,010 copies.
And
It's been
all
a
of my
while since I said
and
that.
in all of my criticisms, I want to congratulate V6. You guys knocked it out of the park. You sold well. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, this is their 50th single, by the way.
Well, I was gonna say they didn't hit number one. Well, you know, it's that One Piece magic. It's the One Piece bump, man.
The One Piece bump. You know what's funny? Did you notice this, by the way?
Notice what?
What? You see them on the Oricon, like their actual faces.
Oh yeah. Well, if you also look, it says Avex Tracks, not Johnny's.
No, even Avex is pretty, or like if it's specifically Johnny, they kind of keep close to the lid about that. Because if you click on the links and look at everything they've done, they've been with Avex since the start, and all their stuff still says no image. So this is a very interesting turn of events that this happened.
Well, I'm glad, and I'm glad Johnny seems to be really turning that corner of being more public facing, more of a digital front.
Took them 20 years.
Yeah, well,
But
we all don't cross the finish line at the same time.
Let's peer over to the albums real fast. I want to see this lovely train wreck. Okay, Flavor by Little Glee Monsters, number 1. 50,000 copies. That's actually not too bad.
Dear Lord.
Bohemian Rhapsody, that's going to be the new,
Greatest Showman.
New Greatest Showman, yeah. Pop Virus, still on there, by Gen Hoshino.
Boot-
It's really good.
Bootleg's hanging in there at 8.
Probably because, like you said, the Kohaku Rub.
Bumping it up, baby.
Bumping it up. But yeah, that's pretty much it here. Is there anything that we want to announce or talk about before we sign off here?
Nothing I can think of.
But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you can check us out on our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter at ongakudoyu. You can check out the site ongakudoyu.com, where we promise to be doing a lot more content fairly soon.
Yes. Stay tuned for that.
Yes. Stay tuned for that. You can also check out our lovely affiliate, Koryu Hunter. He is a Japanese-based Twitch streamer who's probably going ham because of the release of RE2 Remake. It's like Second Coming of Christ for him.
I can believe that.
He's going ham on that game. Believe you me.
I want to try it out. I loved RE2. That's like the first Resident Evil game I ever played. But
I hate scary games, so I can't handle.
Also, apparently, where he's living, it's snowing. I saw him post.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you can check him out at twitch.tv/KoryuHunter, KYORYUHUNTER. And you can check out our other affiliate, Timber Taff. He is a Twitch streamer in his own right. He'll be slowly but surely getting on to Dark Souls 2. Me and Kyo have been ribbing him hard enough about that. And you can check him out at twitch.tv/TimberTaft, TIMBERTAFT. And you can check me out on a gaming podcast called Podosaurus. It's fairly similar with Ongaku no Yu, but we go off the rails and we don't really have topics. And it's mostly about games. I'm pretty sure they're going to just talk about Kingdom Hearts and talk about RE2. So I'm going to be silent again because I didn't talk at all during the Resident Evil 7 talk.
Yeah, I know you didn't. You kept pretty quiet there.
Oh, I was also hungover during that time, so that didn't really help me. But yeah, You can check that out and just look up Potosaurus or Koryu Hunter on Apple Music, or not Apple Music, a podcast app, or I believe we're also on the Google Play Store.
Yes.
I believe you can just check the podcast out there. But yeah, I want to thank you guys very, very much for listening to this week's episode of Ongaku de You. I'm your host, Ken. Oh, you can also find me at OTYKen1. Where can we find you, Gray?
Ongaku Great, Twitter.
And you can find Luna at LunaMarie87, I believe. I'm sorry, I cut you off already.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've gotten better at posting more on my Twitter. Although the last couple of weeks have not been good, but I'll get more at it because it's it's still getting used to the idea of being like a public figure. Believe it or not, it does take a while to get used to that concept. Especially when you live like 30 years of your life being a nobody. It takes a while. But yeah, I've been posting more on there, and we will be more, you guys will see us a lot more, and just be excited. Yeah.
But yeah, you can also check out our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/ongakudu, same as the podcast, where you can just see me playing Final Fantasy 14 till days be gone.
Woo!
Whoa.
Ooh, you know what we should do is we should do a stream of me and you playing Monster Hunter.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Ongaku de You. I'm your host, Ken, saying thank you very much and have a great day. Aloha.
And this is Gray. Hope you guys have a great evening.